Hello, my SociaLight Stars. Welcome to the SociaLight Stars podcast. I am your host, Raenae, founder and creator of the nonprofit SociaLight Stars. I want to welcome you to episode 3, Hidden Wounds of Social Media Trauma. Now, if you've been watching the podcast, the last episode, we talked about navigating social media trauma, and today we're going to talk about the hidden wounds of social media trauma. We all know that any type of trauma that you go through, there are going to be wounds behind the trauma. There are going to be wounds within your healing journey. So we're going to talk about these wounds after the social media trauma and cyberbullying and how we can get through this. Because you know, one thing about SociaLight Stars, we talk about how to overcome. We talk about how you can better yourself. We talk about the mental health awareness. We talk about the healing journey after social media trauma and cyberbullying. So let's get into it with episode 3. Okay, it's time. Buckle your seatbelt because we're getting ready to open up these wounds. And I hope you're ready. Okay, so you all know my story of the social media trauma and cyberbullying that I went through in 2021. And then unfortunately, again in 2024. 2021 was on one social media platform, and then 2024 was on another social media platform. So when you talk about hidden wounds, one of the things is the continuous flashbacks, because the event that people hear on social media, the recording, every time that my relative decided to post that or even talk about it, it's a continuous flashback for me and my husband and my children, because we have overcome that situation. We have healed from that situation. We have attended therapy and counseling for the situation. But when the relative continues to talk about it, it's continuous flashbacks for us. Because again, as I talked about in the first episode, unbeknownst to me, she recorded the mistake that I made. So I didn't even know it was recorded until the social media trauma and the cyberbullying happened. So beyond what people think they may know or what they hear, that's the first time you all heard it. For me, it's a continuous flashback. It's a continued reminder of the mistake that I made. It's a constant reminder for our children and my husband of the mistake that somebody else wants to constantly keep throwing up in our face, because all they have is a snippet of the past and they don't know what our present and our future holds for us, because we all know that we do serve a God and a higher power that forgives us. Even though human beings want to keep putting us in that same past bucket, we know that there is a higher power that will forgive us, and we have a calling on our lives because of that higher purpose. Again, the flashbacks, the social media trauma, it's hard for me to talk on this episode. I'm just going to be really transparent because I have to bring up these wounds of this trauma. And there's so many other pieces to my story that I haven't even told you all. The continuous flashbacks also leads to the fact that this relative was also doing things behind my back, unbeknownst to me, contacting other people, telling them what was going on. My own mother's side of the family not reaching out to me, asking me, is everything okay? Are you okay? What happened? People thinking that because someone posts negative things about me that I'm supposed to just forget it and move on with life. And what people don't understand is that social media trauma and cyberbullying affects us on a daily basis in some way, shape, or form. And it's important that people understand that it is a healing journey. Healing journey and a healing process is not on a timeline. It is on whatever timeline that you feel is important for you in order for you to heal and move past the trauma. Always remember that. Never let anyone make you feel guilty because you're not healing on their own timeline. Frequent anxiety and anxiousness. Because of what happened to me, I had to turn off the notification sounds on my phone. I have no notification sounds on my phone. It is all silent. Because of what happened to me, anytime I would get a text or a message or the ding or the pop sound, my blood pressure would go up. My heart would start beating fast. It was really bad. It just triggered the comments that used to come to me, people that used to seek out my phone number and my email address to text me and email me and tell me how much of a horrible person I am. And they're all the way on the other side of the United States and going by whatever narrative the relative decided that they wanted to build and wanted to just waste their time to tell me how much of a horrible person I was. Yes, it was that intense. Suicidal thoughts. I had to start going to counseling because I was having suicidal thoughts because of the wounds of the social media trauma and the cyberbullying, because of the effects of what happened to me. I had to start going to counseling because I started having suicidal thoughts. I believed in my heart that I was the person that people said I was. I felt in my spirit that maybe I shouldn't be here. I don't deserve to be a great person after what has happened to me. So yes, I went through suicidal thoughts. I thought about using a weapon to hurt myself. I thought about cutting myself. Anything that you can think of to take yourself out, I had those thoughts because of what happened to me. And it can happen to you too. A lot of people believe that social media trauma and cyberbullying cannot happen to them. It can happen to you. If the right person has information about you that is detrimental to your life, to your work, to anything that makes you who you are, it can happen to you. I suffer from control issues. I already was a controlling person from the beginning. Let's just put that out there. I've always been a controlling person, but it was worse after the social media trauma and cyberbullying. I felt helpless because you can't control what other people think and what other people say about you. I couldn't control what that relative decided to do. So I felt helpless. Even after putting social media boundaries in place, even after going in my settings and changing who can comment on my posts, who can comment on my IG stories, who can comment in general on anything I post on social media, even after setting those boundaries, I still felt helpless because some kind of way, in some form of fashion, people are going to try their best to hurt you and put you down. And that's something that I've learned that I can't control, and that I have to know within myself the type of person that I am, the type of growth that has came from my experience. And I want to tell you all that if you've went through some type of trauma, don't let negativity take you off the course toward your growth, because your growth matters. Even if it doesn't matter to the negative Nancys in the world, your growth matters. As long as you know within yourself that you have grown and healed from the mistake that you have made, that's what matters. You can survive your trauma. I'm a testimony that I survived my trauma. I'm a testimony that you can come out of whatever people feel like that you are supposed to stay in for the rest of your life. Because when we make a mistake, people will hold your feet to the fire for that one mistake you made. But SociaLight Stars, Raenae, I'm here to tell you, move on from that mistake, even if other people don't want you to move on from the mistake. What are some of the coping skills that we have to deal with in order to survive the hidden wounds of our social media trauma? So, one of the coping skills is a hard one, but you have to do it. You have to accept what has happened. You can be mad, sad, angry, pissed off, want to physically hurt that person. Let's be real. I went through those same feelings, especially because it was a relative. And it hurts more that it was a relative, because that means your own relative does not even care about your well-being, and they would rather embarrass you on a public platform. So however you are embarrassed through social media, sometimes we just have to accept it. That's one of the coping skills. Your feelings are valid. However you feel about it, it's valid. Miss Raenae is here to tell you that. Develop meditation skills. That's another way we can cope through it. Tell yourself affirmations every day. Speak positive affirmations in your life every day. No matter what is going on around you that is negative. Tell yourself that you are great. Tell yourself that you are wonderful. Tell yourself that you can grow and heal. Tell yourself that you are special. Tell yourself that you are worth living a better life. Watch motivational videos. I love watching Sarah Jakes Roberts. She has helped me go beyond the suicidal thoughts that I was experiencing. I love looking at other positive influencers on Instagram and TikTok because they help me go through this journey as well. Make sure that your FYP has the correct type of influencers in your FYP, in your timeline. Make sure you're not following people that are adding fuel to the fire and thinking it's okay to embarrass people on social media, or think it's okay to post negative things about people on social media, or think it's okay to go live for 2 hours and tell people who they don't even know how horrible of another person they may feel they are. You got to make sure you clean up your social media. That's another social media life hack. If you follow me on IG, SociaLight Stars, you'll notice that we're posting a lot of social media life hacks or social media hacks. That's another one. Make sure that you're following the correct influencers. Also, talk to those you trust. Talk to someone who may not understand what you're going through, but can be empathetic about what you are going through. Talk to someone who is empathetic and can understand that, or ask themselves, how would that affect me if my own relative posted a horrible recording on social media and I had over 300, 400 comments that I had to delete, and I had to go through my Instagram inbox messages and delete and block people for almost a week. Ask yourself, how would that make you feel? Talk to someone who can be, again, empathetic. Your best friend, a loved one, a companion. Listen to stories of people who have committed suicide because of social media trauma and cyberbullying. Listen to the stories of the families who have experienced that. I have done research, of course, because I have the nonprofit SociaLight Stars. I have done and completed research and listened to stories of people who have lost a child, a loved one, because of social media trauma and cyberbullying. And it has helped me heal because it has helped me put into place the perfect coping skills for going through this, so I'm not like their family member who is no longer here. Reach out to a counselor or a therapist who can provide more coping skills and implement a stronger healing process. We can, of course, implement our own healing process, which is great. But sometimes we need that other person who has actually studied the mental mind and mental health and studied psychology and does what they do for a living to help us go through the healing process stronger and harder and better, and maybe give us tools and resources that we didn't even know we needed, but they've been implemented. So now it's better for us. We're moving forward. We're doing great. We're not letting social media anxiety bother us. We're not letting things of the past affect our present and our future. That's definitely important as someone who is in mental healing right now through therapy. I hope you all have enjoyed this third episode of SociaLight Stars, Hidden Wounds of Social Media Trauma. I hope you all have taken something from this episode and you are going to implement it in your healing journey. If you are going through social media trauma and cyberbullying, please send us an email at socialightstars@gmail.com. I will be glad to talk to you via email, give you more tools and more coping skills and more resources to help you through your social media trauma and cyberbullying. I will also be glad to give you resources that are in your area to help you go into a therapy and counseling session. And of course, stay on social media and follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at SociaLight Stars. Continue to shine with us. Again, check out our social media handles in the description. I am so excited that you have joined this healing journey with me. Thank you for listening to my story. My story is going to save someone's life one day. I just know it is. If you or someone you know is going through social media trauma and cyberbullying and they are having suicidal thoughts, I want you to pick up the phone and dial 988. That is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you or someone you know is going through a mental health breakdown and they need help, please do not hesitate to pick up the phone and dial 988. That is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Thank you all again so much. I am so excited for this journey that you're taking with me. Stay tuned for episode 4 and continue to shine with SociaLight Stars.